So this article is written in the context of a company, Pfizer. It's a multinational company. It has said that it conducted successfully the phase 3 trial, so that it is very close to come up with a vaccine for COVID-19 virus. So in this context, the article has discussed about the prospects that are there if in case successfully this vaccine is brought into the market, and it also discussed about the technology that has been used by this company to produce this vaccine, which is called an mRNA technology. And also the article discussed about the performance or else the capacity of India with respect to this vaccine production. Okay, so let's look at in detail what this article has discussed. So if you look at the first slide, we all know that clinical trial, right, essentially includes 3 phases, and in fact this company has said that it completed the last phase, which is phase 3, successfully. So if in case, of course, it has not yet been certified by any other international journals, only the company and an international committee has claimed it. So if everything goes good, then it will be given an opportunity for production, mass production. So that is nothing but certification or approval for mass production, so that this vaccine can be ready, right, for administration, right, administering the COVID-19 affected people as well as other people consequently, right. So it is at present it is in phase 3. It has to go through next approval stage, and then this vaccine will be ready for production, right. Now what is the impact on India? Article says that even though the Pfizer company's vaccine is brought out in the market, the prospects for India as of now are less, because phase 3 trials with respect to Indian population has not yet been conducted. That is the crucial point. However, there are certain Indian companies which are under the process of producing this vaccine for COVID-19 in the name of Covishield and Covaxin. So the companies which are making these vaccines have been mentioned in the article. So if you read the article, you will get all those details. All right. Now let's go to the next one. So the article also discussed about the technology that was used to produce this vaccine, right? The technology is simple actually, but it's very novel and most innovative technology, which is nothing but mRNA technology. mRNA stands for messenger ribonucleic acid. It is a single stranded substance. So in contrast to the DNA, which is a double stranded structure, right, this RNA is a single stranded structure. Okay, now in terms of nucleotides, this is how the mRNA looks like, right. RNA is a single stranded, number one, and it includes on this strand, what it contains means these nucleotides. You know, nucleotides are nothing but nitrogen bases as well as some other carbon compound as well as hydrogen bond. So this essentially all these 3 combinedly called as nucleotides, but however carbon and hydrogen are common in all these elements. In the entire RNA, carbon and hydrogen are common, but it is only the nitrogen base that varies. So A, C, T, G are the 4 nitrogen bases, which are also called as nucleotides. Okay, this is the structure. Now how this vaccine is produced, this is important. We need to focus here. Now you have to understand one thing. In this universe, every living organism has its unique genes, because every organism looks unique or looks different from each other, right? How? It depends upon the genome or the genes, which is actually decided by DNA. However, it is also in turn decided by the RNA. So having said that, the virus, even the COVID-19 coronavirus has also its own RNA. This point is crucial. So now what they are trying to do is they are trying to synthesize the RNA of the coronavirus in lab. Okay, how? If you have a genetic information of any organism, okay, genetic information, how that organism is made, that information is called genetic information. So RNA is the one which carries that. Now virus, right, also have its own genetic information. Means in this process they are trying to capture the genetic information and synthesize the RNA of the COVID-19 virus. Okay, so what they will do with that COVID-19 RNA? So how does this RNA looks like? See, just keep this point in mind. This is how structurally an RNA looks like. Okay, right, mRNA. I am speaking about mRNA, messenger ribonucleic acid. Okay, so when they could able to synthesize or produce that mRNA, which is nothing but vaccine. Okay, vaccine is here mRNA only of the COVID-19. Then this is administered, means given, so given to the, in the form of injection. It is given to the human beings, maybe in the form of injection or in the form of drops, however it is. Finally it will be administered to the human beings. Once this vaccine enters into the human being cell, what happens is because of some internal biological function, this will produce the protein synthesis of that vaccine will take place, which is nothing but in terms of biology it is called antigens. So vaccine production, vaccine in administering into human beings will lead to activation of antigens. Antigen essentially is called as a foreign body for human being or for any organism. For any organism, an external thing is called foreign body. So this foreign body, in order to fight back with that foreign body, because otherwise this foreign body or antigen may destroy the cell, right? So in order to prevent that, the natural fighting system in our body, which is also called immunity system, will produce antibodies. So these antibodies will fight against these antigens. So that means because of this vaccine, we will get a capacity to fight back against the coronavirus. Understood? That is as simple as that. All right. So this is all about the technology, but for the sake of discussion it is simple, but when you have to implement, execute in real times in laboratory, it is a very tremendous gigantic task, I can say. That's why it is taking so much time. Okay, finally, all these points are not being discussed by me alone. In fact, they have been mentioned in the article, but I am just adding some flavor to these points. Okay, I am giving some additional information. Finally, this mRNA technology, this vaccine based on mRNA technology is most promising. Why? The thing is, it is in this methodology, this method of vaccine production is very inexpensive or else affordable or cheaper. Number two, through this technology, production at massive scale, means this vaccine, once it is proven correct, it will be administered to some hundreds of crores of people, right? Now to administer so many people, production at mass level is very necessary, imperative. So through this technology, production at that scale is also very easy and it is also very effective. However, by being said all these things, there are certain negatives also. This vaccine should be stored at very highly negative or else very cold temperatures. -70 degrees centigrade temperature has to be maintained to store this vaccine, right? For that you need to have lots of cold storage infrastructure, right? for example, countries like India, where they don't have adequate cold storage infrastructure. Okay, adequate cold storage infrastructure is very very minimal, or else, in other words, we have inadequate cold storage infra. Means that means even though vaccine is available, we don't have facilities to store that vaccine. That's a problem. Number two, until now, no commercially available mRNA vaccines are there in the market. So, to put it straight, mRNA technology based vaccine is not yet introduced commercially in the market. If the Pfizer company's vaccine is introduced, maybe it is the first mRNA technology based vaccine. That is what the article speaks about. So, in this article, we have seen about the stage in which the Pfizer company is there and the technology that has been used by it, why it is so promising, and also what are the limitations and the present situation of India. All right, that's it.